Here's the last 24 hours in geopolitics. President Donald Trump says the war is close to over, even as the US blockade of the Strait of Hormuz continues and tensions remain high. Iran has warned it could block key trade routes in both the Gulf and the Red Sea in response to the US naval blockade. The US military says its blockade is now stopping most economic trade from Iranian ports, putting heavy pressure on Iran's economy. Iran has also said it suffered around $270 billion in losses during the war and wants compensation, as new talks with the US may begin soon. Pakistan's Prime Minister is traveling to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Turkey to push for peace and help end the conflict. Trump has criticized Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, saying she lacks courage over her stance on the war. Meanwhile, Israel and Lebanon have held direct talks for the first time in decades, raising hopes for reduced tensions. However, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is facing criticism at home, with some saying the ceasefire has not delivered clear results. In Lebanon, anger is growing as Israeli strikes continue despite ongoing diplomatic efforts. The IAEA has again warned that North Korea's nuclear program is advancing, raising global concerns. Somalia says it carried out a successful strike on al-Shabaab militants with international support. In the United States, another woman has accused former lawmaker Eric Swalwell of misconduct, adding to ongoing allegations. The US military says it carried out another strike in the Eastern Pacific, killing 4 people on targeted vessels. Delcy Rodriguez has called for a Venezuela free from US sanctions as relations between the two countries slightly improve. Italy has suspended a long-standing defense agreement with Israel amid rising tensions. An Iranian citizen detained in France over pro-Palestine comments has now returned home. China's Xi Jinping met Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, calling ties between China and Russia important and valuable. In Turkey, 4 people have been killed in a second school shooting in just 2 days. Trump has also claimed that China supports his decision to keep the Strait of Hormuz open for global trade.